Welcome to News Edge, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. The Philippines, a nation of over 7,000 islands, sits at the heart of Southeast Asia, a crossroads of trade, culture, and conflict. Its strategic location has shaped its destiny, drawing the attention of empires and superpowers for centuries. Today, the country faces a new challenge. Foreign ships now patrol its waters, dictating where local fishermen like Mateo can cast their nets. For generations, the sea was a source of life and freedom. Now, it's a place of tension and uncertainty. Mateo's struggle is shared by millions of Filipinos caught between global powers vying for influence. The Philippines is more than its beaches and bustling cities. It's a young democracy with a vibrant economy and a global diaspora. Yet, its fate is once again tied to decisions made in distant capitals: Manila, Washington, and Beijing. The construction of a new American military base marks a turning point, promising security, but also raising fears of conflict. The calm blue waters surrounding these islands have become the stage for a high-stakes geopolitical drama. The nation must now navigate the complex relationship between its longtime ally, the United States, and its powerful neighbor China. The choices made today will shape the future of the Philippines and the peace of the entire region. The Pearl of the Orient Seas stands at a critical moment. The world is watching as the Philippines decides its path forward. Will it find security in old alliances, or risk new dangers by standing alone? The answer will determine not just the fate of Mateo and his family, but the destiny of a nation at a crossroads. The next chapter in this story is being written now. On land and at sea, the stakes could not be higher. The South China Sea is a global superhighway. 1/3 of all international shipping passes through its waters each year. Trillions in trade, from electronics to oil, depend on its open lanes. If a single power controlled the sea, the world would feel the shock. Prices would rise, supply chains would break. Beneath the waves lie vast reserves of oil and gas coveted by many nations. For countries like the Philippines and Vietnam, these resources could mean prosperity or conflict. Overlapping claims have turned the sea into a diplomatic battleground. It's also a vital fishing ground, feeding millions, but overfishing and disputes threaten its bounty. Clashes between fishing boats now spark international incidents. The health of the sea is tied to the region's stability and food security. The United States champions freedom of navigation, while China asserts sweeping claims with its 9-dash line. This fundamental clash has made the South China Sea one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. The U.S.-Philippines relationship is a century-old alliance shaped by colonial history, war, and shared interests. After World War II, the Mutual Defense Treaty bound the two nations together. An attack on one is an attack on both. For decades, this alliance has been the backbone of Philippine security, allowing it to face threats with American support. Yet the partnership has faced challenges. Nationalist sentiment once forced the closure of major U.S. bases. As China's power has grown, Manila has sought to renew ties with Washington. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement now allows U.S. troops and equipment to rotate through Philippine bases. This isn't a return to massive permanent bases, but a flexible, modern partnership. Joint exercises and intelligence sharing have deepened, helping the Philippines modernize its military. The alliance is evolving to meet new threats, especially in the contested waters of the South China Sea. The U.S. presence is both a shield and a symbol, reassuring some, provoking debate in others. The future of this alliance will shape the region's security for years to come. In the past decade, China has transformed reefs and atolls into sprawling artificial islands in the South China Sea. These are not tourist resorts, they're heavily militarized outposts, bristling with runways, ports, and advanced weaponry. China's unsinkable aircraft carriers now project power far from its shores, altering the region's balance. Neighboring countries, including the Philippines, see their own claims ignored as China enforces its 9-dash line. An international tribunal ruled against China's claims, but Beijing pressed on, rejecting the verdict. Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militias now patrol aggressively, harassing foreign fishermen and blocking access to traditional grounds. These gray zone tactics stop short of war but create constant pressure and instability. Smaller nations are forced to choose, push back, or yield to China's growing might. The artificial islands stand as symbols of China's ambition and the region's rising fears. The question now is how the world will respond. The US-China rivalry is most visible in the tense waters of the South China Sea. American warships conduct freedom of navigation operations, challenging China's sweeping claims. Chinese vessels shadow and confront them, raising the risk of miscalculation. This contest is military, economic, and diplomatic. Alliances are being strengthened, and lines are being drawn. Southeast Asian nations are caught in the middle, balancing economic ties with China and security guarantees from the US. Many fear being forced to choose sides in a new Cold War. China's assertiveness is pushing some to seek closer US ties despite the risks. The region's future hinges on whether competition can be managed, or if it will spiral into conflict. The stakes are global, but the consequences are deeply personal for those who call these waters home. The new US military presence in the Philippines is a network of upgraded sites, not a single massive base. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, American forces gain access to key locations, especially in Luzon and Palawan, near the South China Sea. These sites are being modernized with new runways, barracks, and storage for rapid response. The goal enabled joint training, faster crisis response, and a credible security guarantee. Strategically, bases near Taiwan and the South China Sea allow the US to monitor Chinese activities and support allies. This distributed approach makes the US presence more flexible and less vulnerable. These bases are forward posts, deterring aggression, supporting disaster relief, and projecting power in Asia's most critical hotspots. They signal that the US stands with the Philippines, ready to respond to any threat. The future of regional security may depend on how these bases are used. The return of US forces has sparked hope and anxiety across the Philippines. For many in government and the military, American support is a vital shield against a powerful neighbor. In coastal communities, families like Elena's see the US presence as a chance to reclaim their livelihoods from Chinese harassment. "We just want to fish in our own waters," Elena says. "If the Americans can help, they're welcome." But not everyone agrees. Nationalists and student activists protest, fearing the Philippines will become a pawn or a target in a superpower conflict. "We are not America's pawn," a student declares at a rally. "We should pursue our own path, not host foreign bases." Some local residents near new bases worry about social and environmental impacts and the risk of being caught in the crossfire. They promise security, but what if they bring war instead, a farmer asks. These conflicting views reveal the nation's dilemma: security versus sovereignty, alliance versus independence. The Philippines faces a difficult choice: stand with a powerful ally or risk standing alone. The debate is fierce and the stakes are high. For many, the hope is that US support will deter conflict, not invite it. Others fear the price of protection may be too great. The nation's future hangs in the balance, shaped by voices from the coast to the capital. The decision will echo for generations. The world is watching. The new US base network is designed to deter aggression, raising the cost of any attack on the Philippines. By positioning forces on the front line, the US can respond rapidly to crises, stabilizing situations before they escalate. These bases also serve as hubs for intelligence and surveillance, monitoring activity in the South China Sea and Luzon Strait. Shared information helps both nations anticipate threats and defend their interests. The bases support the Philippines in protecting its exclusive economic zone where Chinese vessels often intrude. With US backing, the Philippines can better enforce its rights and safeguard its resources. The goal is clear: uphold the rule of law at sea, deter aggression, and secure the nation's future. The presence of these bases is a message: the Philippines is not alone. The challenge is to use this power wisely, for peace, not provocation. The decision to host new US bases marks a turning point for the Philippines and the Asia-Pacific. For the US, it's a strategic move to counter China and uphold a free, open Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines, it's a calculated risk, seeking security while navigating the dangers of great power rivalry. The alliance offers protection, but also brings new risks and responsibilities. Filipino leaders must balance defense with diplomacy, ensuring sovereignty is not sacrificed. The hope is that these bases deter conflict and foster peace, not escalation. The future of Asia may depend on whether this new posture leads to stability or sparks new tensions. For ordinary Filipinos, the outcome is personal, shaping livelihood, security, and national identity. The world is watching as the Philippines forges its path, steel and diplomacy intertwined. The next chapter is unwritten, and the stakes have never been higher.